Pull up your screen time report right now. I'm serious. Go to your settings and look at the number. If you're average, it's somewhere between 6 and 8 hours a day. Let's call it 7. 7 hours a day, 7 days a week? That's 49 hours. In a month, that's 210 hours. In a year, that's over 2,500 hours. Do you know what 2,500 hours is? That's more than enough time to become fluent in a new language, to build a profitable side business, to write a book, to get a certification that doubles your salary, to completely transform your body. 2,500 hours is a second life hiding inside the one you're already living. And right now, you're handing it to an app that gives you nothing back except a vague sense of guilt and a neck that hurts. This isn't a lecture about putting your phone down. You've heard that 100 times, and it hasn't worked. This is a strategic escape plan, a system that doesn't fight your screen time head-on, but redirects it, replaces it, and eventually makes you not want it. Because the truth about screen addiction isn't that you lack discipline, it's that your phone is filling a need that nothing else in your life currently fills. And until you address that need, no app blocker, no grayscale mode, and no motivational guilt trip will save you. Let me show you what your screen is actually doing to your brain, your ambition, and your future, with numbers you can't ignore. The average person picks up their phone 83 times a day. Each pickup triggers a context switch in your brain, a neurological reset that takes an average of 23 minutes to fully recover from. Now, you don't lose 23 minutes every single time because most pickups are brief, but research on fragmented attention shows that even brief interruptions degrade the quality of whatever you were doing before. Your brain never fully re-enters the deep focus state. It stays in shallow processing mode, skimming, reacting, skipping. And over hours and days and weeks, this trains your brain to default to shallow, deep work, the kind that builds careers, creates art, solves hard problems, requires sustained, uninterrupted attention. And every phone pickup is a micro-demolition of that capacity. But here's what hits harder than the attention cost, the opportunity cost. Let me run the math for you. If you reclaim just 2 hours a day from your current screen time, not all 7, just 2, here's what becomes possible in 1 year. 2 hours a day for 365 days is 730 hours. With 730 hours, you could complete an entire MBA's worth of coursework through online platforms. You could build a portfolio website, learn web development, and land freelance clients. You could write 1,500 words a day and finish 3 full-length books. You could practice an instrument for 2 hours daily and reach an advanced intermediate level. The math is not motivational fluff. It's a factual accounting of what you're losing. Every day you scroll for 7 hours, you're not just wasting time. You're choosing a version of your future where none of those things exist. I call this the screen time tax. It's the invisible cost you pay every day, not in money, but in potential. And unlike a financial tax, nobody sends you a bill. You don't see what you lost because the loss is an absence. The book you didn't write, the skill you didn't build, the business you didn't start. It doesn't show up as pain. It shows up as stagnation. And stagnation is the cruelest form of loss because it feels like nothing is happening, which is exactly the problem. So here's the escape plan. It has 4 components and they work together as a system. Component 1, the audit. Before you change anything, you need to see the truth clearly. For 3 days, you track your screen time by category. Not just the total number, but what you're spending it on. Social media, YouTube, messaging, news, games, shopping. You'll probably find that 80% of your screen time falls into 2 or 3 categories. Those are your primary drains. Don't judge them yet, just see them, because awareness without judgment is the first step of any real change. Most people have never looked at their screen time breakdown by category. They know the total is high, but they don't know where it's going. And you can't redirect what you can't see. Component 2, the replacement stack. This is the critical insight that most digital detox advice misses entirely. You cannot simply remove screen time. If you try to create a vacuum, if you just delete apps and white-knuckle through the boredom, you will fail. Because your phone isn't just stealing your time, it's meeting needs. Specifically, it's meeting your need for novelty, your need for social connection, your need for mental stimulation, and your need for emotional regulation. Remove the phone without replacing those needs, and your brain will find its way back to the screen within days. The replacement stack is a pre-planned set of alternative activities, one for each need. Need novelty? Instead of scrolling, you walk a new route, listen to a new album, or try cooking something you've never made. Need connection? Instead of messaging, you call someone for 10 minutes. Need stimulation? Instead of YouTube, you read 10 pages of a book or work on a puzzle. Need emotional regulation? Instead of numbing with content, you journal for 5 minutes or do a short workout. The key is that each replacement is pre-decided. You don't figure it out in the moment. That's when your willpower is weakest. You build the stack in advance, write it down, and when the urge hits, you pick from the list instead of picking up the phone. Component 3. The time block trade. You don't eliminate screen time, you trade it. Every hour of focused, phone-free work earns you a specific amount of guilt-free screen time afterward. The ratio I recommend starting with is 3-to-1. Every 3 hours of deep work earns 1 hour of unrestricted phone use. You're not denying yourself. You're making your phone a reward instead of a default. And psychologically, this changes everything. Earned screen time feels different from mindless screen time. When you know you've produced something real before picking up your phone, the guilt disappears. The scrolling becomes genuinely relaxing instead of secretly shameful. You transform your phone from an enemy into a tool, something that serves you after you've served yourself. Component 4. The identity rewrite. This is where the long-term change lives. Everything above is behavioral, and behavioral changes fade without an identity to anchor them. So you need to change how you see yourself in relation to your phone. Right now, you probably identify as someone who's on their phone too much, someone who has a problem, a weakness, an addiction. That identity keeps you stuck because every time you pick up the phone, it confirms the story. There I go again. Instead, you adopt a new identity. I am someone who is intentional with their attention. Not perfect, not a monk. Intentional. That word, intentional, gives you room to use your phone without shame, as long as the use is chosen rather than compulsive. The shift isn't from I use my phone to I don't use my phone. It's from my phone uses me to I use my phone. Same device, completely different relationship. Now here's where I need to be honest with you about something most people won't say. Part of the reason you're on your phone so much isn't because the apps are addictive, though they are. It's because the life you're currently living doesn't compete. If your days are filled with work you find meaningless, relationships that feel shallow, and goals you haven't seriously pursued, then of course, your phone wins. It's the most interesting thing available. The real escape plan isn't just about reducing screen time. It's about building a life so engaging that your phone becomes the least interesting option in the room. That doesn't happen overnight, but it starts the moment you reclaim those 2 hours and invest them in something that matters to you, not to an algorithm. The 2,500 hours are going to pass whether you do something with them or not. A year from now, you'll either have a new skill, a new project, a new level of fitness, a new source of income, or you'll have a really impressive scroll history that no one, including you, will ever see. Your move. Tonight, look at your screen time report. Find the single biggest category. Tomorrow, replace just 30 minutes of that category with one item from your replacement stack. Not 2 hours, 30 minutes. That's the trade. 30 minutes for a different future. And if 30 minutes of intentional replacement feels even slightly better than 30 minutes of mindless scrolling, do it again the next day. That's how the escape begins. If you're ready to stop paying the screen time tax and start investing those hours in your actual life, type "My time is mine" in the comments. Let me see how many of us are done funding someone else's algorithm with the hours we'll never get back. I'll see you in the next one.